Take a second to subscribe to Times of Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and hit that bell notification.
What's up, everybody? This is Times Wrestling Podcast here with another banger, guys. This is going to be really nice. This is a really good video. This is also a very good series. We're going to be making a series on how to make your own podcast step by step, guys. This is going to help out a lot of people that want to make a podcast because I know a lot of our fans and a lot of other podcasts, maybe they want help. Maybe they want to start interviewing. Maybe they want to start doing that. Well, here it is now. Now you guys can with this series. Now you guys can find out how to make your own podcast step by step with any single topic. This is for wrestling, but any single topic you could use this for. So we're gonna go into the topic. The last two videos were about how to get into the interviewing business, interviewing famous people in your community of your in the community of your topic. Ours is wrestling, so we DM famous wrestlers and they respond and follow us back, and also getting follows from them. And then the latest one that just got posted was how to gain followers. So how to gain 1,000 followers in a week with just having that. And so go check that out. Today's episode will be about how to set up your podcast. So let's get into it. I'm gonna share my screen for everybody so they can see. This is Anchor, guys. That is today's sponsor, Anchor, where they have the best podcast and they make your podcast basically. So what Anchor actually does is they post. So you post your podcast on Anchor, and Anchor posts your podcast on every single device that can, or on every single app that holds podcast. So it goes out to every single streaming device, and it's really cool, guys. It also gives podcast tips. It also gives features, and also you make money by getting sponsors. You sponsor somebody for 40 seconds, you get like a couple dollars. I mean, it's really cool. And it goes to YouTube, it goes to Spotify, it goes to Apple Store, it goes to the podcast app in the iPhone and Android. It goes to every single thing you can imagine. So it is like, it's beautiful, guys. It's the best, in my opinion. Definitely use it, and they are sponsors. So basically, another way is there's a lot of cheap stuff you could get at. There's a lot of cheap things you could get at like you could get a lot of cheap things at stores. So getting a mic cheap, you can get it for like $10-$15. It might not be the best mic, but to start off with your podcast, just starting off. I mean, we just started off 4 weeks ago, and we're already buying some stuff because it's growing, and eventually we're gonna make money maybe from YouTube videos. Like eventually, like I'm not saying right now, but like in the future we hopefully will make money from YouTube videos. But other than that, it's podcast business. But when I do make money, I will. But right now, we're making no profit, so we're just gonna put no money into this. So I buy cheap headphone, cheap mic, use it, works perfectly. I'm not using it right now because I'm letting it rest. Um, the headphones, you just really buy like headphones at Five Below. They're really nice. They work well. It lasts me 6 months until mine broke, and I didn't even break them. It just stopped working. So definitely do that. That comes out to like $20 for just a headphone and a mic, which usually goes for like $200 if you buy really nice ones. So you need to save money, guys. I mean, we're in a time of like horrible time with the pandemic, and we don't have money to spare. So get some cheap stuff. So, I mean, you could start your own podcast. Another thing is you don't need to get a camera. We as a podcast group do not record our faces because we don't like to do that. We are 14-year-old kids. We don't need people to see our faces, really. Um, yeah, we really don't need that. So we just do audio on Zoom and IG Live. Started on IG Live, worked perfectly, guys. I would recommend it if you're just starting off. And then once you get the gist of running Zoom, then you're good. And then you have a whole video, and then that's like really nice. And yeah, guys, just do that. Go on Zoom. You get famous people on. I remember when I had the podcast, when Jordan, my co-host Jordan and I had the podcast, um, we would go on IG Live and only one of us could be on if we are doing interviews or talking with another podcast. So now both of us can talk, and we can talk with other people on the podcast. So I would suggest all of you guys go do that immediately. It's great to do. It's fun. It's a learning how to run a podcast, learning how to do all of that. It is really interesting, guys, and I suggest you do it because it is cool. It you get to talk about things you love, which we we all like to talk about things we like, don't we? We definitely do. Especially wrestling, but definitely, guys, I recommend it. Start your own podcast for people that are looking at this that have a podcast already. If you guys are already doing this, then you're set. Just keep doing it even better and better and better. We will be making another video. I'll be making another video. This is just a series of me. Jordan's my co-host. Jordan's not going to be in the series because I'm kind of the guy that like converts all the podcasts. Like he edits. I'm just the manager. I'm the manager of the podcast. All of that. He edits the stuff. He's co-host. Um, yeah, he's so it's a two-part thing. So I'm the manager. I manage the interviews, DMs, the emails. Um, Jordan does the stories. He does the posts. So yeah. So I'm gonna do the series, not him. He could do a series on how to edit all that stuff. We could do that, and I could bring him on for the series. Yeah, but this probably will be like a 7-8 part series. That's how to start your podcast. And yeah, it's really good. The next one will be about how to get your interview started, how to get it to working, how to get them to answer, which we already did, but all of that. And thank you for watching, everybody. We're gonna share my screen one more time just to show you our Instagram, and then to go follow it, and our Twitter. We have a Twitter now, guys. So go same names, Times of Wrestling Podcast. Go see it. This is Times of Wrestling Podcast, our podcast with 1,000 followers, almost 2,000, or not almost 2,000, but almost 1,100 followers. We have a YouTube link down below. Everybody go look at that. We do podcasts whenever, wherever on Zoom. And we do interviews, collabs. We just did 2 more collabs with Circle of Debate, Crash and Burn, and then ARWP, All Real Wrestling Podcast with Eric Novak. These are just interviews too. So everybody go follow, go like, go subscribe, and yeah. Thanks everybody for joining this podcast, and peace.